So today we're going to be doing approvals. So I'll bring you into the approval folder. So I'll just give you a quick overview of everything that you're seeing here. So this blue eye means that it's an invoice. This is a credit note. If you see it's green with an S, then it's a statement. This figure here is how many documents is in the folder. So if you expand it out, you'll see there's 8 documents within there. You have your supplier name and code, you have your date, then you can see your invoice number. This is a nominal supplier, so these are the nominal ledgers that these invoices are going to. And then you have your total goods. So this is for all 8 of them together. This is split across each individual document. Same with your VAT and then your total including VAT. This number over here is how many pages is in the document. And if you click this black page here, that will open up the document. You can approve from this screen. So you can approve the entire group by clicking this tick here, or you can approve each document individually by clicking the tick on each one. So you can filter it as well. If you only want to see your nominal ledger suppliers, you can click on nominal ledger and it will just group all your nominal ledger suppliers on the screen. And you can then click purchase order, and these are all your purchase order suppliers here. With purchase order, you can show ones that are matched to GRNs. So you expand it out, you'll be able to see it's green there because it's matched, or you can do no match. So these are all the ones that you don't have a GRN assigned to them. So you can see it's just still white here.
What are the start dates and end dates?
So if you wanted to only show documents from like one date to another date, so for example, I could do, if I just filter this here, so okay, there's a good few old documents in here. If you only want to see, say, ones from the start of the year, so you can either click on this and it will give you a calendar, or you can manually type it in here. So if I only wanted to see documents from the 1st of the 1st, 2020, up until today. So basically it would just group all documents then from the 1st of January to the 29th of May.
Okay. And is that the same with PO start date and PO end date?
Yeah, it will be, yeah. So that'll be for your purchase orders, suppliers.
I'm going to go into this document here for the Food Network. So you can see there, I clicked on the grey bar, that expands it out. We have information over here, so that's showing how many documents is within this folder.
And
so
if there was more than one, would they be showing more than one?
Yeah, so as you can see here, so there's 2. So as you click on the bar, so there's 2 within here.
Okay.
It has the date of the document, invoice number, purchase order number, the nominal that it's been assigned to, and there's a test comment that was pulled in there. Over here then we have the goods, the VAT, and then the total including VAT. And if we actually expanded this one out just to show you an example, if there's more than one document in a folder, this value here that you see within the grey bar is the 2 values or whatever amount of values added together. And then when you expand it out, you can see the value separated out.
And then what would happen if I click the tick arrow?
Yeah, so if you click this tick over here, so just on a group itself, that would approve both of these documents within this group and move it on to the upload folder. If you expand it out and you click on the tick beside the document itself, that will only move that one document over. But what I always recommend is to just view the document. So click on the black page and it loads up the document just so that you can double check that everything is actually correct on it before moving it on.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through all the different buttons up the top and what they mean. You can stop me if you have any questions as I'm going through it. So this one here, approve for the value of the document. So you can see there 178965 is this here. So if you clicked on this, it would just move it on to the uploads folder for you. This reject button, when you click that, you get this pop-up. So you can reject it back to the supplier. So this would be pre-populated with the supplier's email address.
Is that the email address that emailed the invoice in?
It is, yeah. So if you sent it in yourself, you can actually edit this to be the supplier's email address.
Okay.
So if this was showing your email address here, you can just change it within there. You can CC yourself on the email, or if you don't want to be CC'd, you can switch this off and you can see your email address then would disappear.
Yeah.
And then you enter your reason in here for a rejection, and that gets sent over to the supplier in an email.
What happens to the invoice if you reject it? Where does it go in InShip?
When you reject it, you would need to go into the search and reporting on the dashboard. So if I just duplicate this tab and go back out to the dashboard. So within this tile here, search and reporting. So documents to include, and you'd have only rejected. And then you can do search. You can also put in your supplier in there as well. So this is the Food Network. So if you wanted to search in here, Food Network. There's a Food Network account. And then if you search here, once it's rejected, it would show within here. We're probably not going to get any results yet. No documents found, but that's where you would find it.
Okay.
Okay. Next, then you have this button here for placing the document on hold. So again, hold it's kind of similar to reject, but it's basically just making the supplier aware that there's an issue. You are going to pay it, but you're, say, just waiting for something, so you haven't actually received all of the document or all of the products that are on the document. You could enter your reason for placing this on hold. You can so whatever reason you place in here will be sent to the supplier's email address. If you don't want to notify the supplier of the hold, if you just want to keep it internal, you can type a reason in here and click save. If you do that, it will show up over here for that reason. And again, if you do want to notify them, just make sure that it's the supplier's email address, because it does pre-populate with the one that sent the document in. So if you sent it in yourself, you don't want to be sending that notification over to yourself. Does that all make sense so far?
Yep. And then you can CC yourself the same as you can with the rejection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you don't want to CC yourself, you just flick this switch here, whether you want to or you don't want to.
Perfect.
You can come up here then and you can click on edit document. That brings you to this screen, which should look similar to yourself from when we were going through alerts.
Yeah.
If there was any information that you needed to edit, so say if it was putting a misdigit in the invoice number, or it didn't pick up the PO number at all, you can come in here. So say that was missing, you can come over here and go, oh, I need the purchase order number. You can type it in, 217852, and then just come up here and click save, or you can do save and approve. Save will move it to the approvals folder, save and approve will move it to the uploads folder.
Okay.
So we're back on the document here now. The next button then is to delete the document. If you wanted to delete the document, you'd click on delete.
Would the document be completely deleted from InShip?
No. So again, within search and reporting, you can include all. So you can see here it has all excluding deleted or all. So any deleted documents, if you do a search, it would show up on this screen here. So we actually have a couple of examples for Food Network account coming up here. So they're not deleted forever.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Next is forward document. So you can forward it internally to another company employee. So if I wanted to say forward that on to myself, I can forward it to onboard team. And then you have approval and you have for review. So for approval will be this screen that we're in at the moment. So, and you can type in here the reason, or you don't have to put a reason. If there is, like, if you can't think of a reason, you don't have to type it in. But if you do have a specific reason for forwarding it on, that this is where you would put it.
Okay.
There's already an open approval for onboard team here, so it's not going to duplicate it but the action would show if I did do that. So say if I just click forward on that just to show you and refresh the screen. It's moved the action up to the top, but you can see it hasn't actually duplicated it. It's just moved the action further up, and it says that onboard team forwarded it to onboard team for approval here. Go back in here. You can also forward externally. So say if there was a member of staff that doesn't have access to InShip, but you still wanted them to have a look at an invoice, you can email the document over to them. The only thing then is they would just have to email you back to let you know you're good to go ahead and approve it, and that because they don't have access to InShip, they wouldn't be able to take any action on the document. They would just have a link to the document that they can view it, and then obviously depending on what your reason for forwarding it is, they can come back to you then in an email to say, yeah, that's cool, or answer whatever it is that you were asking them to check.
Perfect.
If I go back to internal, just to explain the difference to you between approval and review. So when you're setting up a document, you can obviously require specific people for approval, and you can also do the same for review. With approval, it comes into this folder. So say if you do like onboard team, it will go into my approval folder, and when I approve it, it will move into upload. If I was also down to review the document, it would go into my review folder.
Yeah.
And the difference there is the document can be approved and move into upload and be uploaded, but it will still sit in my review folder waiting for me to review it. So I don't need to go in and actually confirm that I've reviewed it before the document can be uploaded.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect. So then the next button is view email. So this gives you a pop-up of the original email that was sent through. It says who sent it in, the email address, the date and the time. And it would have the body of the email here, and there is no other attachments, so it was just this document that was sent through with no other attachments. This one here, pretty self-explanatory, download original. So when you click that, it downloads the original document onto your downloads folder on your PC. So if you did need to download it for any purpose at all, you do have access to download the original document that was sent in. Okay, so there are all the buttons within the approval folder. Have you any questions on any of them?
Okay, and what's on the right? What's the difference between a comment and a predefined comment?
So what you would use the comment box here for is, so say, when you would physically have a document before using InShip, you might like want to write something on it.
Yeah.
So say you're coming along here and you're constantly typing in, so say like summer stock or something, and you find yourself then a lot of the time you're going in and you're typing in summer stock on a lot of documents. What you can do is, so instead of having to manually type in summer stock, we have a function within company settings where you can set up a predefined comment, and you can see in here we have summer stock. So you have it in there. So you can have like, the comment would be, if you're constantly typing the same thing over and over again, create a predefined comment. If it's something that, like say, would be a once off, you can just type it in here.
Okay.
And say you did like summer stock. If you just hit enter on your keyboard, then it comes up here, onboard team at this day at this time, put in the comment of summer stock. You can use it basically just so that you're keeping an eye on, if you did need to keep an eye on your summer stock invoices, just so that you are like keeping yourself up to date and all that.
Yep, makes sense.
Cool. Any other questions?
And you can view the actual document as well as
Yeah. So if you come across here to switch document view and flip it around, you get a PDF, the PDF of the document. This information here is the information that we have extracted from the from creating the template on the document.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Any other
And then
questions about this?
if we had any issues, how would we raise, if we wanted to, if there was something wrong with the document and we wanted to raise a question to the InShip staff, is there any way of doing that on the website?
Yeah, there is indeed. So I'll just close this tab before showing you. So what you can do is this question mark up here.
Yeah.
Gives you this pop-up modal box. So I always say it's very important to make sure you're actually on the document that you're having the issue with, because this link up here is sent across with the issue that you're having. So when you fill this out, it's kind of like an email. So you put in your subject, so kind of a brief description of what's happening. So say there's something wrong with the document. And then again, it's like an email. So you'd fill in a more detailed body in here. If you had multiple tabs, you probably noticed there I closed my tab. If you had multiple tabs open, the system sometimes doesn't know what link to give. So it's important to maybe just try and have one tab open and that you're on the document so we're getting the correct link when you open up the ticket. Once you open up the ticket, that gets sent across to our ticketing system and we'll answer that for you as soon as we can.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Anything else?
No, that's it. Makes sense.
Perfect.